welcome to India's version of touring car racing, because this is a combination of the Indian Junior Touring Car Championship, what is called Super Stock, and also the Suzuki Esteem Cup. It is a very full grid. It is slightly smaller than anticipated because we had a number of rather spectacular accidents in qualifying this morning, a number of cars rolling, one of which was there at the back of the grid, number 64, Saloon Daniel Rajan. He was okay, and the car has been more or less rebuilt. We've also lost, I'm afraid, Mohammed Faisal Kuti, who had a huge roll. Hunt it on YouTube. 4 times it went over, and with the driver's arm oh so close to flailing out of the window, he was very lucky not to be injured. But the good news is he is okay, the car rather less so. So we are one short on the grid, which is headed by Arjun Narendran. Reigning junior champion Keith D'Souza will start second, ahead of Varun Anika. Then it is Viresh Prasad. Api Rajaram, despite losing a wheel at the end of qualifying, is 5th on the grid, ahead of Anant Pitawala. Then Srinivas Tijak will start 7th, ahead of Ragul Rangazami, who's already been a class winner in Formula 1300 and on the podium in Formula 1600 today. Sri Venkat Tija will start 9th, ahead of Sri Hariram, who will go from 10th on the grid. 11th is where you find former drag racing champion Vinod S. Then it's Chandresh Tolia ahead of Rohit VRR, who had a number of offs in qualifying. Imran Abdul Majid also found himself on the grass, but he's 14th on the grid, ahead of Jagdeshraj Narendran. Deepak Ravi Kumar will start 16th, ahead of Vinit Abraham and Kasha Sai. Hisham EKP is 19th from Aditya MN. He's 20th on this grid. Starting 21st is Kamlesh Parma, ahead of R. Rajashekar. Then it is Swaji Achareka from Arjun Zaveri. Mohammed Faisal Kuti missing, but at least he got a lap time in, which is more than Sudanand Daniel Rajan did before he inverted coming out of turn 1. And as he rolled, he ended up atop the car of Viresh Prasad, who starts 4th on the grid. So Prasad was rather shaken by it, but the good news is he is okay. The car is good to go, and the field swarming its way now up towards the grid. This is 8 laps in prospect. There are 3 races for the Saloons. It might be a case of whoever survives the 3rd race. Qualifying was spectacular and certainly damaging for a number. We'd had quite a lot of spins in the 2 free practice sessions yesterday, but nothing quite prepared us for the carnage that we had this morning. So everybody now that can heads up towards the grid. Lots of the entry are the Suzuki Esteems. Effectively, there you can see a brace of them. Booted Suzuki Swifts, but you've got quite a few Hondas and some Toyotas in the entry as well. So it's a pretty mixed bag. There's a class for up to 1800s. There's a second division for 1800 to 2.2 litre cars. And the last handful slotting into place. Arjun Narendran is the man on pole position, and he is good to go. Keith D'Souza, who has been not only the reigning junior champion, but also he's raced in the Vento series. He is 2nd on the grid. 3rd on the grid is Varun Anika. Number 21 is one of the quick juniors in the entry, Kamlesh Parma, with his Honda. And so we're just about ready to go here at the Madras Motor Race track. It is a Formula 1 style start system, so there are 5 red lights that will come on, and then they will charge off down towards the MRF arch into turn 1, and then you take a big deep breath and hope the sun come out the other side. The 5-second board is shown. Race 1 for the Saloons is go. It was a long hold, but away they go, and a good start by the poleman. Arjun Narendran it is who bolts away with round the outside of Keith D'Souza. Varun Anika there taking up 2nd place on the run down towards turn 1. He's going to get the lead as well. A great start for the 2nd row by Anika. He will be the leader as they work their way through turn 1. The carnage has started already. Look, one car gets tapped sideways. He doesn't get avoided, and there's big damage to the back of Tolia's car then, because he was hit as the rest of the field went through turn number 1. So those that can survive. Chandresh Tolia's car with rear damage hopefully can get back into the race, but it wasn't entirely his fault that he was tapped into the slide and then unsighted. He was then hit as the rest of the field came through, but it could well be that we've got some clearing up of bodywork to be done, even though what's left of Tolia's car is a runner once again. So the leader is 88, that is Varun Anika. 2nd is Narendran from the front of the grid. There's a lock-up as they head towards the S's. In 3rd place, it is Viresh Prasad. His car made to look pretty much okay after its dramas in the qualifying session. And it's Keith D'Souza, 4th from 2nd on the grid, that here has left himself with work to do. So as the field wriggles its way up for the first time through turns 4 and 5, it's the Hondas then versus the Suzukis up front. You can see the huge field still pouring through, and the walking wounded at the back after the contact at the first corner. Now this is the approach to turn 8. It was coming through turn 8 that we had the big roll in qualifying from Mohammed Faisal Kuti. So far so good as the leaders work their way through. Number 14, which is Raja Rajan's car that lost a wheel in qualifying. That's also going far better now and getting in the battle with Keith D'Souza. The dust is still settling. That is what is left of the car of Chandresh Tolya. He's only got another 7.5 laps to go. What are you all worried about? Keith D'Souza tries the outside line. He gets on the curve. He gets into the side of Prasad and turns him around. There's more contact as Rajarajan tries to go around the outside, and a new race leader to boot, because up the inside goes Narendran as they come out of turn 11. Side by side for the race lead. On the inside line fighting back is Varun Anika, and he will retake the advantage. In second place is Arjun Narendran as they make their way up over the timing line, but Narendran pulls to the inside line. He's going to try to get the run as they head down towards turn 1. It's a proper touring car race this, isn't it? Heading into the braking zone. Narendran can't quite find a way up the inside, but not for the want of trying. So hanging on to the advantage, Varun Anika, it is in the lead. Arjun Narendran looks for the inside line. Anika locks up, goes a little bit deep into turn 2. Not deep enough, though, to give an advantage to Narendran. And there's one off in the background. Was that Keith D'Souza? Yes, it is. Heading way out into the wilderness. The race leaders then work their way round lap number 2. Varun Anika, the race leader. Narendran is second as they head up towards the S's then. And in strife is Kasha Sai. That's down at turn 1. The Mystic Motorsports driver, didn't see that one coming, but he's getting himself back into the right direction now. Meantime, Anand Pitawala is up into third spot as the leader, Varun Anika, accelerates his way up towards turns 4 and 5. Narendran right on his tail though now as they work their way towards us, and while they're squabbling, Anand Pitawala is closing up in the background as well. So Pitawala, another of the quick drivers who's come from the junior series, joining in the mix as now Narendran tries to find a way up the inside of Anika for the race lead. The door not yet prized open as they make the run down towards turn 8. This is lap 2 of 8, fingers crossed. And as they get to the braking zone, the door is left wide open. Narendran challenges on the inside but can't quite do it. The Honda fends off the Suzuki Esteem as they work their way now into turn 9. Speed building on this next section. There's the little kink, and then the run down to turn 10. Third place, Anand Pitawala trying to stay with the leading 2. And Keith D'Souza a long way back now after his grassy moment at turn 2. Big lock-up by the leader, gets it all wrong. Round the outside goes Narendran. Is that going to give him the race lead? He's on the inside for turn 11. Job done. Up the inside goes the poleman. Narendran takes back the race lead. Straight away, has to go defensive, and have a look in the background. Anand Pitawala is almost with them. 1 corner to go on this. Lap 2, this is it, turn 12. Back onto the pit straight they come. And Narendran leads the way. Second over the timing line is Varun Anika. The gap is 0.463 of a second. And Anand Pitawala in the background has just done the fastest lap of the race. That, I'm afraid, out of the race 22 is Rohit VRR. He had a number of offs in the qualifying session, which included putting the car in the pit wall, but he's out of the race now as the leading trio works its way up towards turn 3 on lap 3. Very wide Anand Pitawala. The Suzuki bouncing its way back onto the circuit. In fourth behind him is Rajarajan, then Raghu Rangasamy, adapting from single-seaters to saloons. And remember the yellow car of Tolya that was given a big old whack on the first lap? Well, the mortal remains of that have just been dragged down the pit lane, where hopefully the tank tape can do something to entice it back out into the race. Leader now, Narendran pulling away, second and third, having a good battle between themselves. Anika and Pitawala working their way then now up through turn 4. And the race leaders currently work lap number 3. So Anika and Pitawala it is that are squabbling amongst themselves. And as the leaders come down towards turn 8, where after his grassy moment fell Keith D'Souza, he's in 8th spot as second and third now get themselves together. And whilst Anika is having to defend, so the leader, look, Arjun Narendran is pulling away. Nose to tail they run, second and third. Honda versus Suzuki as they head down towards the kink towards turn 10. And after all the early dramas, it's all got a little bit quiet, except for a big lock-up by Pitawala there, who puts himself right onto the tail as they work their way now into turn 11, past Rohit's car, which is parked by the side of the road, and over the brow, down towards turn 12 comes the leader. So Arjun Narendran it is, up front, dominating proceedings at the moment as they thread their way out of turn 12. Having got himself into the lead finally, now there's no stopping Narendran in what looks like one of the more understated cars apart from the number decals and the championship sponsors, there's nothing else on it, but it's a quick car nonetheless. Second and third together over the timing line, Anika versus Pitawala. In fourth place is Rajarajan, going strongly, but not yet really being able to do much about the brake-locking Anika, who leaves the door wide open, loses second spot, as up the inside goes Pitawala. He has done it, he's made the move, and he's made the move stick. The Suzuki gets itself ahead of the Honda. Now, what can the new second place man, Anand Pitawala, do about the race leader? It's been a great effort, this, by Pitawala. He didn't qualify all that strongly, but he's made very good progress as the race has worn on. Came up from 6th on the grid as the leader. Narendran turns his way now, trying to build this advantage up towards turn 4 and turn 5. Pitawala behind him, trying to fend off any thoughts that Varun Anika might have of coming back at him. Through they turn. Lap 4. And although we've had some damage early on, it's not quite been as incident-filled as one might have feared. We've had some good battles, but up front, Narendran doing his best to maintain this advantage, and successfully so. The advantage he had last time was 2.7 seconds. He'd also just had Narendran the fastest lap of the race. Down they come then into the right-hander, out of turn 8. Good little battle developing here as into the braking zone comes 99, Raghu Rangasamy. Tucked up behind him is Vinod S, and then Srinivas Teja. The three of them running together. Raghu Rangasamy, hard at work, very different style of driving on one of these cars compared to the Van Diemen built single-seater that he was out in just an hour or so ago. Sideways behind him, about to lose it completely. Around goes Vinod, spins back across the road. Are they all going to miss him? Just about. Vinod gets himself going, but right now there is a massive laundry bill inside that car, because that could have been oh so disastrous as he came back across the road. Despite all that, I think he only lost about 2 places. Here was the start of the slide. Back overtakes front, wheel lifted as well. Round he goes, and that wasn't the scary bit. This was the scary bit. Comes back across the road, and just through a narrowing gap goes Sunanand Rajan, who, bear in mind, rolled in qualifying, and he has come up from the back of the grid. So there is 77, that's your race leader, Narendran, up to the S's. Now the gap is a whopping 4.2 seconds. Can't have that sort of a gap in a touring car race, can you? Meantime, more battles rage on. 33 up the inside is Jagadaresh Narendran as he turns his way up towards turn 4. Viresh Prasad recovering after being nerfed into his earlier spin in number 10. He's got a lot of work to do here. Remember, he was knocked sideways early on in the race. He is fighting back, in fairness, so Prasad now makes his way up the inside. Viresh Prasad gains ground. Now there, 64, this is a man that deserves a big cheer. Sunanand Daniel Rajan rolled early on in qualifying, didn't do a lap, so started last on the grid, and he's worked his way up now into a remarkable 7th place, and he's not done yet, is he? He might gain 2 more before the end. He's got the 2 teammates ahead of him, Raghu Rangasamy and Srinivas Teja. K, and 3 wide won't work. It's Rangasamy that's going to go the widest and lose places. He's got broken suspension by the look of it. The car doesn't want to turn, and there's damage at the front of Rangasamy's car. So that's 1 up already for Rajan. Sunanand Rajan in the white car, number 64. 26th to 6th. Oh dear, front damage for number 9, who's not going a whole lot further either. That car now stranded trackside. That is our Rajashekar, and that's the end of Raghu Rangasamy as well. So he's had a podium in the Formula 1600s, a class win in the Formula 1300s, but retirement in the saloon car race. 64 heading up towards the timing line then. Sunanand Rajan chasing after Srinivas Teja K. Past the pits they come, and now the run down towards turn 1. Narendran leads the way by 4.5 seconds, but this is the battle for 5th and 6th places now. Those in the pits watching the big screens, seeing themselves as well. Way wide there goes Srinivas Teja K. He gets it back on just ahead of the tank tape special of Sunanand Rajan, who tries one side and then the other. Wide in, tight out of turn 3 might be the game plan here. Can he get up the inside? Can't really get the switch back, so hanging on to the place only just, and they're in the same type of car. The Suzuki Esteems here is Srinivas Teja K. But Rajan is certainly a man on a mission. From 26th, He is now 6th, he's now 5th at the inside line. Gets past a stricken car. I hope there wasn't a yellow flag there, because otherwise that place will not stay for him. But it's been a great charge up through the pecking order, that is for sure. Can he get any higher than that? The rest are a long way up the road. So I think 5th is going to be as good as it gets for Rajan, but what a drive that has been. I know 1 or 2 have fallen by the wayside, but even so, it's been a cracking effort by him. Sri Venkata Teja is next, ahead of Sri Hariram there. The Esteem of Sri Hariram, it's number 75 on the back of the Honda, as the two of them work their way down towards turn 8. But that's the race leader, lest you forget. Arjun Narendran working his way up round the back of the paddock, heading into turn 11. He's in and amongst the traffic as well now, sorting out some of the back markers as he comes over the brow. But as far as Narendran is concerned, once he's hit the front, life has got a whole lot easier for him. He comes up now then, over the timing line. Back markers behind, there's 42, Arjun Zaveri. Then there is number 79, second place man, Anand Pitawala, 5 seconds back. There with front damage now, number 14, RP Rajarajan. Now, could he be caught by Sudanand Rajan before the end? Not convinced. Rajan's lap time's not as good, but then again, he has had to do some overtaking, so we're not really getting a clear indication of that. The gap between these two is widening, so Pitawala dropping back. Varun Anika runs 3rd, a lap down there, number 42, another of the team game over cars of Arjun Zaiva, who sees now up the inside, passing him to put a lap on him, the car of RP Rajarajan. And he's going to be lucky that the fresh air doesn't get under the bonnet and rip that open. We had a car yesterday with a flapping bonnet, which just about did survive to the end of the session, but as far as Rajarajan is concerned, if at high speed the air gets under that and it rips it open, it's going to smash into the windscreen, do damage, and of course obstruct his vision. So he needs to be careful. I'm just wondering whether the officials are ready. There is a meatball flag, but whether it's for that car, it's hard to gauge yet. So the race leader is on lap 7. There's 1 to run at the end of this as they work their way down now towards turn 8. Anand Pitawala has not really been able to shake off Arun Anika. They still run together pretty much for 2nd and 3rd spots as they head then now up through turn 9. Keith D'Souza, after his rally crossing earlier on, has rather faded from the scene instead of being able to gain places back. So big shame for the man that was 2nd on the grid. He's faded out of the top 20 now. So Pitawala works lap 7. Behind him, Varun Anika, close, but not quite able yet to have a go. He's running out of options then. There's a lap to run. 4th is Rajarajan. 5th is Sudanand Rajan. The last lap board goes out for them. 6th is Srinivas Teja K. But there is the race leader, Arjun Narendran. Goes over the line. 2nd and 3rd through Anand Pitawala, and then Varun Anika behind him. And Rajarajan's car, despite the flapping bonnet, is going well enough to still be in the mix, and in fact he is lapping quicker than Pitawala. In other words, 2nd, 3rd and 4th are starting to concertina up a little bit now. So Narendran holding sway up front, bouncing over the curbs, running wide, but it's been a very impressive drive this. It may not have been the best of starts. He had to work his way back into the race lead, but having done so, he has made good his escape. Turns his way around the back part of the circuit, heading into what's this D-shaped turn 6 and 7. And with an advantage of 6 seconds starting this last lap, it looks as though Narendran is on target for a win. It's been a neat and tidy drive, and he's out on his own. The only people he's seen really of late are the back markers. 2nd and 3rd, still Anand Pitawala fends off Varun Anika. Down they come to turn 8, but they're a long way behind this man, a dominant race leader, soon to become winner. It's one of the most anonymous cars on the grid, but it's been the quickest. Narendran grabs a gear coming out of turn 9, works his way then now through the kink, heads into turn 10. And as he does so, the race leader is set for honours in the first race of the weekend for the combination of saloon cars, those in the Indian Junior Touring Car category, the Super Stock, as they are known, in the Esteem Cup. You run them all together, you get a very busy grid, and turning his way out of turn 12 comes Arjun Narendran. Checkered flag is at the ready, and Narendran it is who scores first blood this weekend in the Saloons by taking a win and then doing a stoppie in front of his team. Second and third absolutely together as they come out of the last corner, and Pitawala only just hangs on to the place there. They came across the line with about 2/10, if that, between them. Very, very close indeed, but Anant Pitawala hangs on to take second position. Varun Anika third. RP Rajarajan is fourth. And then Sudanand Rajan for fifth. Excellent effort that from 26th on the grid. Sixth place will go the way of Srinivas Teja K. Sri Venkatha Teja is next, ahead of Sri Hariram. And then after his early spin, Viresh Prasad comes through for ninth place, good recovery. And Deepak Ravi Kumar in number 25 in the background will round out the top 10. So, as expected, a lively race. And the drivers will make their way into the Park Ferme area with Narendran, Anant Pitawala and Varun Anika as the three winning drivers. This is how they came across the line. Narendran, who only uses that part of his name, the race winner. Anant Pitawala in second, ahead of Varun Anika. RP Rajarajan is fourth, and then Sudanand Daniel Rajan taking fifth spot. A winning margin of 7 seconds in the end for Narendran, but a lively race nonetheless. Narendran also doing the fastest lap, having started, of course, from pole position. And there is the car that was hit at the first corner. So Chandresh Tolia gets home in what's left of it in 19th place, and he had a pit stop. Let's just have a look at it. There it is. Very battered indeed, but making its way, mirror hanging off, bonnet flapping, rear damage. It gets to the end, and fair play to Chandresh Tolia, 19th, and it wasn't game over after all that. It looks like it's just done something at Wimbledon Stadium in a rookie banger race, but the good news is that it is a winning car, a finishing car. That's the winning car for Narendran, who will step in a moment out of the cockpit, and a very happy man he is. So Narendran will go to the podium.
Thank you so much.
But hopefully we can have a word with our race winner in a moment. So, to the victor of the spoils, Anant Pitawala taking second. And there should be Varun Anika as well for third place. So Arjun Narendran out of the car. Louise is with him.
Arjun Narendran, that was superb. Not the best of starts, but you fought back and took the win.
Yeah, I took a late start, but finally I somehow got him on the second lap. So after that, the entire credit goes to my very close friend and my very, very well-wisher, Mr. Radha Suluraj. He's the best. It's all because of him I'm here today.
Oh, that's lovely. Well done. And moving on into second place, Avant Pitawala. Avant, talk about leave it to the last minute. You were still fighting right to the end.
Yeah, I started 6th, and there was an incident on on turn 3, so I made a move. And then from there on, I was second. So.
But Varun was pushing even to the end, to the checkered flag.
Bigger engine, a bigger car, so more powerful car. But we managed to stay ahead of him, so it was a good race. Yeah.
Well done. Thank you very much. Varun, I know you're just speaking to the team, but a good effort from you, a fantastic start. Couldn't quite hold it there, but how was it?
I wasn't competing with them anyway. We had 2 classes in this race, and I won my class.
Well done then.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a good performance.
Thanks a lot.
Well done.
So Varun Anika in the Honda, coming home third, so he's the first of the Superstock class drivers home. The 2 ahead of him, both in Suzuki's, so they are in the Esteem Cup. but you mix them all together rather than have 3 small grids. You have one big grid and lots of drama, and it works well. Once more, Arun Maman will stay on the podium to receive the top 3 drivers. The MRF 1600s had an 8-lap race earlier on in the day that was won by only 0.3 of a second by Kartik Tarani from Anindit Reddy and Ragul Rangasamy. They were the top 3 finishers, and we await the drivers. Here they come now.
From Team N1 Racing, Anand Pitawala. And the winner.
There will also be the
S. Narendra.
rookie competition within the MRF 1600s. And we also have the Indian Saloons podium, which will be taking place. And it's going to be the Saloon drivers that will head to the podium first. So Arjun Narendran, it is, the man in the middle, as the race winner.
Radha from Ram Racing.
So Narendran, the race winner. Everybody huddling together on the podium. And all smiles at the end of the Indian Saloon podium.
We will quickly move on to the next category, which is the Super Stock. In 3rd place, from Team Performance Racing, Sri Venkat Teja.
So within the Indian Saloons, you have the Super Stock, you have the
In 2nd place, also
Suzuki
from
Esteem
Team
Cup,
Performance Racing,
and you have the
R.P.
junior drivers.
Ramakrishnan.
So it is the podium now for the next category that will make their way up onto the podium.
Varun Anekar. For the trophies in 3rd place for Performance Racing, Sri Venkat Teja. 2nd place, also from Performance Racing, R.P. Rajarajan. The winner from Race Concepts, Varun Anekar. The tuner for Varun's car, Joel Joseph from Team Race Concepts. Joel Joseph.
So the top step of the podium for the Super Stock class, Varun Anika from Rajarajan and Sri Venkata Teja, the man taking 3rd place.
Moving on to the next category, which is the Indian Junior Touring Car. We are promoting this class as it's been newly formed this year. The winner in this category from Team DTS Racing, Hisham.
So Hashim EKP, who wins the Indian Junior Touring Car section of the race for Toyota on the podium. Lots of highlights. Hold your breath. Keep an eye on the yellow car at turn 1 in a moment of Chandresh Tolia, but it was a good start by Arjun Narendran from pole position, but the best of anybody was Varun Anika round the outside from 3rd on the grid, and he led in the Honda down to turn 1. Right, yellow car, turn in, Tolia gets hooked by number 22, which was Rohit VRR. That turned him around and he got a big whack, but undaunted, he carried on in the race as everybody else fought their way around the opening lap, including Keith D'Souza, who ran out of road and got sideways and got into the side then of Viresh Prasad and turned him around. Prasad recovered the 9th spot. Up front, Varun Anika was leading the way, but what was left of Chandresh Tolia's car battled on. He did pit to get rid of some of the flapping bodywork and then got himself back into the race as others fought their way out of turn 8, including the Toyota in the hands of Hisham Iki Pei, and 79, Anand Pitawala making his move up the inside of Varun Anika, and that gave him second spot as the cars worked their way into turn 3. A big slide for Vinod S, who thankfully avoided getting into the side of Sudanand Rajan, who was on target for 5th place. Narendran through the traffic, continued to pull clear of Anand Pitawala. Varun Anika running in 3rd spot as the cars ran towards the end of 8 laps. Towards the rear of the pack, Hisham EKP in the Toyota was in his own battle on target for the win. Narendran, who battled his way through to win by 7 seconds in the end. Coming out of the final corner, the road to himself, Narendran taking race 1 of the 3 that we have for the Saloon cars here this weekend. Slowed right down with a stoppage to celebrate in front of the team. Second, almost a dead heat as Pitawala just fended off Varun Anika. So a lively way for the Saloons to start their weekend. 2 more races for them still to come. And we've got 1 more race here today. That's for the MRF Challenge 2 litres. We'll see you for that in a few minutes.